What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. First crit race of the 2025 season. We are in St. Louis, Missouri. This is the Tour of St. Louis, and this is like the day one crit course. 3 events. It's a time trial Saturday morning, Criterium that evening, and then the final crit Sunday evening. And omniums like this one are a points-based competition, so teammate Ben Boroff from Velovit is here with me. We are the 2-man hit squad. He won the time trial earlier today, so we are trying to get Ben into a good position for the overall in this crit. And just giving you a sense of, and getting a sense myself here, of this course on the first lap. You can see it's kind of wide open, wide roads. You got this left-hand corner at the bottom of the hill with some bad pavement on the inside. It's marked in orange. That was kind of a fun corner to rip later on in this race at speed, but you'll also notice up here on the back side of the course, a little ways up the road, there is another like big bump, lots of orange paint, and guys were talking about that particular bump in the road. But yeah, in terms of the field composition, we got a couple of big teams here. One is First Internet Bank. They brought a full squad, and we've also got Cheney Doors and Windows. I think they had like 8 guys on Crew Reg. They are a local St. Louis team. And yeah, other than that, we got a bunch of Collegiate guys. Here is that big bump on the backside coming up, or did we just go over it? No, I think it's this right here, right there. So there's like a dip in the road with some broken pavement in front of it. So a couple of little features like that on this course, otherwise pretty straightforward. We're coming in here into the end of the first lap, and pretty decent field size. I was impressed. Like I said, this is the first crit race for us in 2025, so it's always nice getting back into the racing season, getting back used to some of the feelings of being in a big group like this and racing at speed. So I'm going to shut up for a minute, give you guys the full volume, and talk more when something in this race happens. Okay, so one small thing you may have noticed there, rider in front of me here loses his chain, loses his pedal, so I'm kind of trying to let the guys around us know that that's happening, and giving him a chance to sort of get back together there. But yeah, you'll see little things like that throughout this race, which is, I think, you know, people kind of shaking out the cobwebs, getting used to racing again. There's teammate Ben Boroff, the hero of the story on my right. He's got a little saddle dangle thing going on there, a little hood ornament. I don't know what the opposite of a hood ornament is. A saddle ornament. Anyways, you may think that he's not so serious with saddle ornaments, and then all of a sudden he's beating you in a sprint. But here we are. We're like 5 minutes in. I think I'm about to send my first move. I got my teammate behind me. These guys up here are coasting, doing 30 miles an hour at 137 watts. So I think it's about time to send a move up the road. So here we go, I think. Giving them a little Little shout, we got some first internet bank guys. Here we go. So just sending a little testing move there, nothing crazy. You can see my watts are coming back down because I think the whole field is basically still attached. Gonna say, like, a little side note here, I was wearing the National Champions kit, the Pedal Mafia skin suit white bib shorts kit that I'll show you guys a picture of here in just a second during this race. And basically, not only did I learn after the race that's sort of like a faux pas because I won the road race, not the crit, but I also totally had a huge target on my back in this race, which actually is going to come in handy later on when my teammate Ben gets up the road. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, chief referee, I learned his name was Dan after this race, told me that I shouldn't wear that kit, that technically it's like something that you can get disqualified for even if you wear the National Champions kit in a race that is not the same discipline as the race you wanted in. Never had any issues with that before, but it's something that I'm just learning how to do because it's the first time I've ever been in this position. So anyways, big target on my back, and like I said, that's going to come up a little bit later on today in this race. A couple of riders off the front here. I'm just doing some tempo on the front of the group and just going to bring these guys back slowly. No need to panic. We are still very, very early on in this race. And yeah, let's see what else happens. Okay, we skipped ahead just a little bit to the end of that lap. I just wanted to show you guys this little move here that I learned basically as this race went on, coming up on the left here, heading sort of downhill towards that hard left-hand corner, and that corner every lap seemed to be like bunching up a little bit, so if you can get in front of the bubble here, there's teammate Ben, just get in front of the bubble and save yourself a lot of trouble later on with all the riders in front of you slowing down. We got I think that's Tim Smith, Gavin Good out on the front, a couple of riders just dangling there, but you'll see how much smoother it is here on the front, taking this left-hand corner super chill compared to having to maybe touch brakes when you got riders doing that in front of you. So alternate title of this video could be a shout out to sort of like NorCal cycling. You guys are watching Jeff's videos over there. One of the things he always talks about is like the most basic form of team tactics is essentially like don't chase your teammates. So yeah, whenever Ben goes off the front in this race, like I'm doing my best to kind of let that gap open and not do any work on the front to bring him or that group that he's with back. And he knows to do the same, right? So like that's a huge thing. If you have teammates that are chasing you back, it's literally you guys working against each other. So I'll take you through this race and show you a couple of other like key moments where these team tactics sort of played out. Okay, so I brought you back here. We are maybe like 40 minutes into the race at this point, later than I thought, but we're about to see the sort of like breakaway of the day go. We got teammate Ben, the hero of the story, as previously mentioned, right in front of me. And yeah, we're about to see this lesson of like don't chase your teammates put into practice here. So the race has progressed. There have been a lot of little attacks, little moves going up the road, but nothing has stuck up to this point. And yeah, sometimes in sort of like the midway point, this is like a 65-minute crit, so we're maybe like 2/3 of the way through this. Sometimes there's a bit of a lull, and people start thinking ahead to like a sprint finish, for example, trying to save their energy. And so, yeah, I'm starting to talk to this dude to my left who I know, and if you're looking closely up the road, this is when the move is going. And so I'm still talking to this dude. I didn't do this on purpose, but I think that that's kind of like a side sort of like tactic. And this group is totally bunching up. The breakaway group is making progress up the road. And like a good teammate, you're going to see me get to the front here and start to do basically just like a false tempo to sort of like lull the riders in this group to sleep. So let's see how that works out. So yeah, just sort of easing my way to the front here, and keep an eye on my power down in the bottom left. So I'm like looking like I'm working kind of hard. I'm in like an aerodynamic position on the bike. Don't know if these guys know that my teammate is up the road, but we got one guy going, and again, I'm just doing like, you know, maybe some sort of like false tempo here. Coming into this corner again, it's nice being on the front. But it's pretty easy for me. Look at the gap opening up to that rider. So this is me basically giving my teammate the best chance possible to stick the break that he's in. I think there are 3 riders up there currently, 2 First Internet Bank riders and Ben. So not a bad position to be in, but again, I'm just going to try and kind of lull these guys into this false tempo. And then if anyone else tries to make a move, you know, you can kind of like chase that and kill it, as they call it. Catch and kill, I guess, is the phrase. But yeah, so this is sort of solidifying the gap that has been established up the road. So yeah, using this move to perfection, staying on the front here, just hard enough to prevent someone from coming around. And yeah, as you can see, a rider goes off, you just kind of sneak in behind them, not really interested in pulling through. And yeah, if you're racing against someone and is doing this, alarm bells should be ringing. You should be, you know, attacking this, trying to bring the breakaway back. And yeah, this seems to have worked, not to mention the fact that the 3 riders that are up the road are super strong. That definitely helps. But yeah, we'll watch a little bit more of this, and I'll take you guys to the last lap. was an attack there by Tim Smith and one other rider. That may have been the fastest I saw anyone take that left-hand corner all day. But as you see here, not panicking, staying on the front. This is like textbook catch and kill, policing the field kind of race tactics. So when we bring this little group of two back, I think is the moment that breakaway basically has solidified itself off the front. We've got Kyle Perry coming through here to bring Tim back specifically. Kyle knows the drill, right? He's got a couple of teammates up the road as well, so we're basically on the same page here. All right, so let's go to the last lap. Okay, so here's the sweeping left into this little uphill. You can see we've got more guys in the gutters. I'm going to bring that up in just a moment here, but we are coming into the last lap. We have bells over there on the right being rung. This is a little bit of a pinch point that I was talking about, just getting squeezed into that fence there a little bit on the left. If you're racing on this course in the future, something to keep in mind. Again, this was like my favorite place to move up, is right here as people are anticipating the left-hand corner. Not so easy on the last lap. Of course, everyone's trying to get into position. So yeah, at this point for me, like mentally, I'm thinking about the next day already, basically. Like, I'm feeling like I did my job more or less. There's very little reward for me in like risking crashing. You see this guy on the left here almost getting squeezed. So yeah, pretty chaotic. Again, in these like races with a lot of collegiate riders, there's a real breadth of like experience levels. And so yeah, just trying to keep myself safe. There's a little dicey move there from the Marion rider. I think he might be the same rider that ends up getting squeezed into this curve in just a second. You can see he's taking that inside line. So let's see what happens here. So here is the critical moment. We're coming into these final few corners, and this is where this Marion rider gets pinched. Sorry, guy. He mentioned on Instagram I had posted that as a reel tagged crit drama. He mentioned that it was his first crit of the year. Totally understandable. Not trying to toss shade on any riders that go down. It's also my teammate Ben's teammate. They're racing for the same collegiate program, so no shade being tossed there. It could have happened to any of us. Here we are coming in. I'm basically just staying seated in this sprint for like 20th place or whatever. And yeah, this is the end of day one at the Tour of St. Louis. So we've got teammate Ben up on the podium. I'll give you guys a picture of that. And with his second place finish on the day, that puts him in first position in the Omnium overall, which we have to now defend going into the final day of racing on Sunday. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.